Good afternoon, days, nights, the time you're listening to us, dear radio listeners. Here in Curious Topics, the topics that interest you most, I introduce myself. I am Carlos Suarez, and today we will talk about current myths, which was the most voted topic to speak today in the survey we conducted on Twitter. We will begin by explaining what a myth is, to put in context all those who are not familiar with the term, and later we will answer your questions. We also have two very special guests, the philanthropist writer Jorge Davila.
Hey guys, I'm glad to meet you.
And the doctor Luis Salazar Tamayo.
Me complace estar con ustedes.
Alright, let's start. Jorge, what can you tell us about mythology?
Well, mythology is known primarily as a wonderful story starring gods, heroes, or fantastic characters located outside of historical time, which explains or gives meaning to certain facts or phenomena.
Interesting. I want to believe then by intuition that each region could have a myth or some mythology, isn't it?
Exactly. Although explaining the myths in more detail, in this sense, they are part of the belief system of a people or culture. Taken together, myths make up a mythology. And mythology, as such, is what sustains the worldview of a culture, that is, the set of stories and beliefs with which a people has traditionally explained to itself the origin and reason of everything that is around of him.
Okay, alright, I see. Doctor, knowing all this information, what do you think could be a current myth?
Actually, in these modern times, there are a lot of different myths that have been made by the same people. Even if we don't know about them, they are there.
Could you give an example?
Yes, I could give you an example. For example, one of the greatest mythologies that exists right now would be science, as ridiculous it could sound.
The science?
Yes, science. Let me explain it to you. Actually, there are a lot of people who have seen positive results by using the scientific method. This method can give answers to all the questions that everyone has, or at least that's what I think. Because can the scientific method be the only thing that explain our reality?
Wow, I had never considered it in that way. Thank you, doctor. And now we have in the phone a radio listener. Hello, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hi, who speaks?
It's Ian. I'm a student of the UNAM. I find the topic you're talking about very interesting, although I still can't quite understand it. I wanted to ask the doctor if he can explain me in more detail why science can be a mythology.
Thank you very much, Ian, for listening to us. We will answer your questions immediately after returning from these commercial shorts. Thank you for listening to us here on Curious Topics, only the topics that interest you most. We will continue where we leave it, with the student question Ian. Doctor, could you further detail your analogy for all our radio listeners?
Yes, I can explain you more of my analogy. There are even more reasons that explain why science is seen as a cultural construction, or in other words, a myth.
Wow, could you give me an example, please?
Yes, I can. As every one of us knows, the most accepted theory is the theory of the Big Bang when we're talking about the creation of the universe. But there's also other theories, like the one that says the Bible, the creation of the universe in 6 days. What I wanted to say is that we can't have any positive result if we are placing theories and more theories and more theories, and that's why science is just something superficial. Science is just something that helps us explain how our world really works.
Wow, holy cow, man. Not even with the best professor at UNAM, I wouldn't learn so much. Dr. Luis, you really have a brilliant mind.
No, there's no problem. I actually like to help students, young students, who want to make life better.
This has been our podcast. We appreciate your attention and remember that we will always be tuned at 3 in the afternoon so that you are aware. Finally, do not forget to follow us on our social networks. It was a pleasure to have you in my podcast. Thanks and see you soon.